What we're going to look at today is setting tax rates within BeFree. You do this through administration, tax rates. Now this is really to keep you within the rules for whatever country you're working within and whatever state or county, so it's completely customizable. You can add however many tax rates you want. So if you somewhere where various products have different tax rates, you can set all your different required tax rates here, and then when you add products into the system you choose the correct tax rate. So the way to add a new tax rate, you just go new tax rate, give it a name, so whatever it's called in your country, whatever you want to call it, or it might be something that is a way of calling it that you actually remember which tax rate it is if you've got various ones that you use for various products. And you can then add as many components to that as you want. So in some countries you'll only have one component, in which case you'll just add one line here. In some countries you'll have 2, 3, maybe 4 different components making up that rate, and you can just put whichever components you require to make up this tax rate. So you may have state tax, and that'll be 1%, and you might have county tax, and that's 4%. Now you'll see here you do also have the option to compound, so depending on what country you're in, some of your tax components may need to compound. In other words, they apply to the taxed subtotal with the taxes that have to get applied. So if you need to do that, you would just tick the compounding box if you wanted to add in a compound into one of these lines. So you can add as many lines as you want, so you have as many components making up your tax rate, and you then just save that. And that is now in your tax rates list. So what will happen now, if you go and add a product and you want to use that tax rate, when you add that product you choose this tax rate as the applicable tax rate for that product. If you've added tax rates, if you've already applied them against products, and you can see all these ones with little padlocks, they've already been applied against products. And you can see we've got 43 products with GST, we've got 850 with tax 15%. So if you've already applied a tax rate, you cannot delete it because obviously it's already been utilized within the system. If you've added a tax rate and realized you've added a tax rate you don't need or it's incorrect and you want to get rid of it, you can just tick it and delete it. If the tax rate changes, so you've set it correctly and then in 6 months time there's a change to the tax rate, you can actually just go in and edit that. So for example, you might want to come in here and edit tax 15%, and if there's no longer a tax line that's relevant, you can just go in and edit that, or you could go in and change this to 14% and save that. And so now it'll be sitting here, but the tax rate is 14%. So you can go in when the government makes changes and edit these tax rates.